The movie starts with a boy named Jack, smiling and going through a handcrafted beautiful book titled Our Story. He has come with his family of 5 to a new house. Rose has fled from her husband, an infamous serial murderer called the Beast of Bampton, in England, to her childhood home in America, with her children Jack, Jane, Billy, and Sam. To remain hidden, they take Rose's maiden name, Marrowbone. In their new home, Rose notices that it has changed since she was last there. As they enter the house, their mother goes up the stairs and draws a line with her feet on the ground. She tells her children, who all look grim, as if they have been through a lot, to cross that line. She says that their story begins here when they cross the line, and all the earlier memories will be forgotten for good. All of them cross the line one by one, and together they start a new chapter of their lives. While living in the remote house, the 4 siblings go out and play around the area. There, they meet and make friends with Allie, a cheerful girl from a house nearby. Jack and Allie develop a romantic relationship. It is then revealed that Rose is terminally ill. One day, she calls Jack and makes him swear to keep their family hidden until he turns 21. But fate does not seem to be on their side. When their father Simon, the cold-blooded serial murderer, escapes from prison and finds his family, we see a terrifying near encounter when he shoots a bullet through the house's window, making all hell break loose. 6 months later, Jack goes out to buy groceries in return for the freshly cooked home bread that Jane makes. Their mother Rose has passed away, and the children are keeping her demise a secret. While in the shop, the woman asks Jack about his mother, and he lies, saying that she is unwell and resting at home. Afterward, Jack goes to the library to secretly meet Allie. There, he has an encounter with a business agent named Tom Porter, who is also interested in Allie. He tells Jack that he will come to their house the next day to get Rose's signature and collect $200 to complete the estate transfer, making Jack anxious. Jack tries to encourage him not to visit, and let Jack bring the signed papers to him, but the man insists. Upon Jack's return home, his worried siblings suggest retrieving the money box that his mother left them before her passing, to pay the $200 owed to Tom. The money box consisted of their father's black money, which he accumulated after taking people's lives and blackmailing people. Her mother kept the money in secret, and left it for her children since they are literally broke and don't have money. Billy retrieves the box, despite Jane's reminder of Jack's promise to never touch the blood money again. The siblings hurry to put the house in order before Tom arrives the next day. The next day, when he arrives at their house, the siblings welcome him, and Jack tells him that since his mother is very ill, she cannot visit Tom personally. He takes the papers from him and asks Jane upstairs to forge her mother's signature. She has a hard time writing it on the papers. After it is done, Jack convinces Tom to accept cash, which is in British pounds, despite his insistence to receive a bank check. That evening, the family hears strange sounds from the attic. They keep all the mirrors covered in the house, and when a cloth drops from the large mirror, all of them get scared and hide in their castle. Jack tells them all to stay put, and he goes to cover the mirror with the cloth. After covering the mirror, he sees the broken ceiling and looks inside, where he sees something moving and passes out, falling down. He wakes up to find himself with his siblings inside their hiding spot. Jane claims that their ghost has returned because they used the cursed money, and they decide to give it back. The next morning, Billy drops the money box down the chimney, hoping to rid themselves of the curse and the ghost that haunts them. Meanwhile, Tom is trying hard to hit on Allie. He spots her walking back home and offers to give her a ride. On the way back, Tom tells Allie about Jack's father, who was even worse than Jack had previously revealed. Later, Allie asks Jack about Simon while they are on a beach trip. She says that Jack never tells her about his father, and he replies by saying that he was a monster and the things he did are unspeakable. As they chat and enjoy their little beach date, Tom spies on them from a distance. Back home, tensions rise between the siblings as they argue about Allie compromising their secret life. Billy fights with Jack, saying that he spends too much time with Allie. Sam sees his siblings fight and quietly cries in the distance, feeling helpless. When Jack locks himself in his room, Sam secretly picks up the keys and goes to his late mother's room. He takes out her things and reminisces, since the pitiful little boy misses his mother. While in there, he accidentally knocks a cloth from a mirror and sees his reflection seemingly turn into the ghost. Jack comes down to find Billy and Jane quietly standing in a corner. When he asks, they tell him that Sam saw a ghost in their mother's room. Jane says that it is happening because they walled up their father in the attic above and let him perish there. She insists they give Simon a proper burial, but Jack refuses. Elsewhere, Tom surprises Allie with train tickets, but she reveals her involvement with Jack. Upset, Tom leaves her with newspaper clippings revealing Jack's father was a notorious serial abuser. Meanwhile, back at home, while Jane is cleaning, she hears sounds from the ceiling and goes to find the opening. There, she finds the raccoon that Sam keeps feeding often and gives him snacks. As she reaches her hand in to feed him a second time, a ghoulish hand reaches out to Jane and touches her hand as she tries to coax the raccoon out of the hole leading to the attic. Jane is disgusted and runs to the washroom, where she vigorously scrubs her skin until it's red. Back in his office, Tom inspects the contract that was signed by the Marrowbones and finds that something is off. Suddenly, he gets a call from the office that he was going to join, and is offered a partnership in the company instead of a job, but he needs to buy 10% of the firm's stock for $5,000 first. Tom becomes distraught and discovers from his files that the Fairbairn family was suspected of possessing the £10,000 that Simon stole. He confronts Jack and blackmails him for the money. He says that he will be back for the money tomorrow and leaves Jack to wallow in grief. While the family is crying over their bad luck, Billy decides to retrieve the money from the chimney to help them. He goes there at night and has a terrifying encounter with a strange and scary entity there. He finds the box, and while trying to escape from the chimney, Billy is attacked by a gaunt figure and suffers a deep wound to his side. The next morning, Jack wakes up from a blackout with an excruciating pain in his side. He goes out to find his siblings in the washroom and sees Billy with a deep wound on his side. Billy tells him that their father is alive and breathing, and he saw him last night when he tried to retrieve the money from the attic. Jack panics after listening to this and passes out after having a seizure. Jane says that they have to tell Allie because she is the only one who can help him. That night, Allie receives a message from the siblings to meet at the place where they first met. The next morning, Allie goes there to find a handcrafted book explaining the siblings' story. Back at the house, Tom visits for his money and roams around the house searching for it. Flashback to 6 months earlier, to the day when Simon returned. After hearing the gunshot, Jack locks up his siblings in the attic and takes the money box to Simon, who stands a little way away with his gun. He takes the money to him, but Simon does not go away and attacks Jack. He almost chokes Jack to oblivion when Jack puts the knife in his father's throat and flees. Simon recovers quickly and runs after Jack to push him off a cliff. Afterwards, he goes to the house, finds the poor siblings Jane, Billy, and Sam in cold blood. Poor Jack wakes up a bit later and visits the house to find his dear siblings all gone. With nothing and no one left in the world, he prepares to but his mind saves him by creating multiple personalities to cope with the trauma. He covers up all the mirrors in the house so that he can keep believing in his fantasy that his siblings are still alive and well. Back to the present day, Tom hears strange noises coming and moves about to find the walled-up attic door. He decides to hammer it down, where he discovers the bodies of Jane, Billy, and Sam. Seeing the gross scene before his eyes, Tom is terrified. Allie, on the other hand, finishes reading the book and rushes to their house after knowing everything. Allie arrives at the house and finds Jack inside the castle that he created, talking to himself as if he is his other sibling. She sees him bleeding from his waist. Jack becomes Jane and tells Allie that they need her to take care of Jack, but Allie manages to snap him out of his other personality. Jack tells Allie to leave them alone, but when she insists on staying, he yells at her and she rushes out, crying. Outside, she hears noises coming from the attic. She follows the noise in the attic and finds the lifeless bodies of the siblings lying there. She covers them and calls out to Tom. She finds him with his throat slit. Scared, she calls Jack to come and help, but Jack refuses to comply. She tries to help Tom, but it's already too late. Alone and helpless, she picks up the box lying near her feet and throws it at the wall where Simon is hiding. She confronts Simon by saying that she is not afraid of him. Allie calls for the siblings to help her. Simon attacks Allie, and just as he is about to choke her, Billy possesses Jack and bursts into the attic. There, he shouts at Simon to leave Allie alone, as he does not belong there. He then shoots Simon, and they are saved from the evil. Jack and Allie share an intimate moment together. 12 weeks later, Allie visits a doctor, who tells her that Jack has not shown any further signs of multiple personality. The doctor suggests that Allie could live a better life without Jack, since she is a young woman with a bright future. The doctor then gives Jack's medication to her, and tells her not to let him miss a dose. Allie takes the medicine and returns to the house, where she now lives with Jack and hides the medication. She finds Jack lying in the swing outside and goes to sit beside him. There, she gives Jack a framed photo of his siblings that she took when they first met. The movie ends with the scene of the siblings coming towards the house, and it is revealed that Allie lets Jack believe that his siblings are still with him.